Hey, it's Curt here with Inspections Over Coffee, and I want to spend a few minutes just talking about comparing our opportunity versus other opportunities. So, most importantly, is that you have to want to be in the home inspection industry, which means that you have to understand that a large part of your success will come from you going out into the real estate world, meeting realtors, having conversations, being friendly, being personable, and having them trust that you have the expertise, wisdom, and know how to you got to live in this little gray area, right? Where like you're not like a code inspector saying that's all wrong, but you also don't want to sugarcoat because good realtors don't want their clients inheriting expensive problems. They want you to find everything. But again, your job is to find the symptom or the problem, and then that's it. Like you're not there to talk about how that affects the price or what you can negotiate or who should fix what. Like you're literally paid to make observations, and that's it. And and again, with that, it would be like the next steps they might take, which is usually like, who do I call to get this fixed? Um, so compared to so first of all, do you want to be in home services? Because you could start cleaning businesses, you could start blinds, you could blind installation, sell blinds, you could start awnings. Do you want to be doing manual labor? Inspections are a little more white collar, where it's about writing a good report and having good rapport with people, and not so much about like turning screwdrivers and wrenches and fixing things. Um, you know, probably the biggest downside of a home inspection franchise is just driving around. I mean, we have really high profit margins and really low startup costs, but no one's ever going to be able to bring their house to you for you to inspect it. So I get jealous when I see, the car place down the road says we do a free 39-point check. Well, yeah, because they had to drive the car and have to go to the thing. We have to obviously go to the house to inspect it, and that's just part of that's one of the cons, right? If you were to look at other, what I know about other inspection franchise opportunities, there's two really big companies. There are a couple of mid-sized ones, a couple that are smaller and getting going like us. To my knowledge, nobody has the training that we have. Nobody teaches you super in-depth about social media, how to answer the phone, how to do sales and marketing, how to do outreach, how to get sales meetings, how to get there's if you watch my like 10 things to avoid in a home inspection franchise, I talk about like boring marketing. I mean, if you imagine having an if inspection over coffee doesn't ring with you right away, that's okay. It might not be for you. We are a friendlier version because we understand the market, we understand the realtors, we understand the buyers, we understand what they want. We're not looking to the inspection industry about how to do inspections. We're looking to the people that we serve about how to have a successful company. And at the end of the day, we live in a gray world where the home buyer advisor, and we have a lot of power but no authority. Like nothing actually has to get done from our report. It's just a tool that someone has as they buy a house to make sure they're not inheriting problems. And they may choose to use it as a negotiating tool, but they could also just ignore the whole thing, buy the house, not negotiate anything, and just live in the house for 20 years. Like there's no rules about anything within the home inspection world that says like because you had an inspection, anyone has to do anything at all. People live in houses with Federal Pacific panels and shoddy roofs that are leaking and aluminum wiring and polybutylene piping, and it doesn't become an issue until it's actually an issue. And usually it's an issue because of some kind of third party that you're trying to get something from, meaning like your insurance company has seen that you've had two roof leaks and they're like, hey, we're not covering anymore until you get a new roof. Or you had two plumbing leaks because you have polybutylene, we're not covering anymore. And they go, oh shoot, I either have to replumb or my insurance company's not covering any more plumbing leaks. So again, back to the like us versus everybody else. If this is the only video you're watching, I want to show you this. This will all be on the website by the time you're watching this, but right now it's all Dropbox. But basically, we have inspection training, we have add-on training. I know for a fact that if you start one of our competitors' inspection company, but then you also want to like learn mold, you have to, you're going to have to get the mold license no matter what, if your state requires that. But then you got to spend time with the lab. You don't know anything about, you don't know any industrial hygienists, you don't know any environmental engineers, you don't have any of that training. You certainly don't have the templates built out. If I could come here, templates, we have, if you were to look here, solar power section, sprinkler section, commercial properties, EMF, lead paint, asbestos. We have a template section for residential elevators, sewer scopes, radon, mold. If you want to see our mold, okay, we have the whole write up here. We have frequently asked questions that are pre-done, that are a part of every inspection. We have how to do a clearance test. If you don't know what that is, you'll learn eventually. And then our recommendations, but our recommendations are huge, right? So let's say surface and air. This is extremely long. This is all straight out of IICRC and how to clean up and properly do mold remediation. So again, if you're with a competitor, you have to develop all that on your own. If you're with us, you get it all. It's all part of the deal. And then again, we're less expensive. We're incentivized with our royalty at 5% to help your business grow. But we're also not trying to rake you over the coals. There's one of our biggest competitors charges, I think, 11%. It's like 7, 4, 9, and 2, like with marketing, and then 2% or 4% for marketing, and then 7 or 9% for the royalty. But then you have to use their software, and then they charge you every job for your software. And then if you bring in one of their termite people, they charge them again, and everybody gets charged. This charge. All these charging is going on. And again, it's a pretty lucrative business once you're over like 6 figures. As far as like a percent, like I have a really good friend who's an environmental engineer. His whole goal is all the revenue he might do $4 million last year. He's at a 20% profit margin. So that's a nice payday, 800,000, I think that is in the math. But if you're only making 20% on everything you do, that's tough. And if some franchise owner, a franchise company is coming in and chopping, I mean, think about that. The reason we chose 5% is because I want you using that other 5% that I'm not taking as marketing money. Go take realtors to happy hour, to lunches, breakfast, take them to a baseball game. Like, use that money to grow your business. 5% is enough for us to do what we need to do to support you. There's probably more to that, but if you have questions or you saw something from a home team or pillar to post, win, whoever, some of the bigger names, let me know, because actually I would love to add to this video and say, well, let's talk about how that, because if you've seen enough videos of me, I'm super transparent. I'm going to be super honest. If something's a good idea, I'll give somebody credit. But if we do it better, I'm going to be honest about that too. All right, so I hope I covered enough there to give you some ammunition looking at different inspection franchise opportunities where you'll at least know the questions that I think are important, us versus them. Okay, we'll see you on the next one.